discussions about the topics that matter to you. My name is DeAndrea Rogers. I go by Dee Dee, and today we are joined with an organization lighting the way with out of school time activities. We are going to explore upcoming summer and after school programming and the importance of out of school time activities for kids and teens. A few reminders for today's discussion. We hope to have time for a few questions from our audience. So please put your questions in the chat box on Zoom or into the comment section if you're watching on Facebook. Closed captions are enabled in Zoom and Facebook Live. To turn them on, please click on the Show Captions button at the bottom of your screen. All right, out of school time activities provide our young people with opportunities to explore and experience the world outside of the classroom. These activities not only foster a sense of belonging, but enhance self-esteem, independence, leadership, and decision-making skills. Over 83% of young people between the ages of 6 to 17 engage in at least one extracurricular activity outside of school. At United Way for Southeastern Michigan, we support partners with grants, technical assistance, training, and much more to ensure all children can thrive in our region. Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan is one of our amazing partners working with children this summer and is one of our education grant recipients. To check out more exciting summer programming opportunities for children, check out Summer Discovery by visiting summerdiscoverymi.org. I'd like to introduce you to our speaker for today, Elise Dixon. Elise is the Chief Program Officer of the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio, she holds a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance from Wright State University and a Master's in Secondary Education from Grand Canyon University. With 16 years of experience in the Boys and Girls Club movement, Elise has held various roles, starting as a part-time dance instructor at the Boys and Girls Club of Dayton. She later served as the education director in Dayton and then as the operations director in Amarillo, Texas, where she significantly expanded the organization's reach, overseeing growth from 1 to 13 locations across 4 school districts. That is amazing. And I'm going to have to take some classes from you. Dance is just fantastic. So I love this. At Boys and Girls Clubs of America, Elise served as the National Director of Quality Improvement and Member Engagement, leading initiatives to enhance program quality nationwide. Now, as Chief Program Officer for the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan, she designs and implements strategic programs to prepare youth for careers, entrepreneurship, and homeownership. Wow, that's pretty dope. Welcome, Elise, and thank you for being here with us today and sharing about the impact of Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan and out of school time programming. Take it away.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dee Dee, and thank you all for the invitation. I'm excited to talk to you guys about the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan and what it is we do in Detroit and Metro Detroit. So I'd like to start by sharing our mission. At the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, our mission is simple. We want to ensure that youth that attend our club leave being career, startup, and homeowner ready. So I want to take a moment and just describe how we got to that really direct mission. So what we did when our CEO took over our organization about 5 years ago, and we can go to the next slide, we did what we called as a series of reimagination sessions where we brought in key stakeholders and funders to really help us think about, what is the issues that are plaguing our community and what can the Boys and Girls Club do to solve and support those issues. So what we noticed is typically in the nonprofit space, we see what you see on the treetops, right? We look and we create programs and initiatives to do things like, reduce food insecurity, reduce childhood obesity, minimize suicide rates. But one of the things that becomes an issue is if we only focus on the treetops, when you solve one of those and you cut off that branch, what's going to happen later? Another branch is going to grow right in its place. So we spent time digging in and looking at what is the root cause of what we are experiencing and seeing as the symptoms, and that was poverty. And when we dug a little bit deeper, we said, well, what is the root cause of poverty? And from those discussions, we identified that it's a deficit of access to key areas of capital. So yes, we know about economic capital. We think about that when we talk about economic mobility, but access to social capital, wellness capital, cultural capital, and human capital are also key to ensuring that you have what you need for that upward mobility. Next slide. So our moonshot is broad. So we also knew in order to be successful, what we do inside of the Boys and Girls Club isn't just focused on the clubs, which is our Horizon 1. How do we make sure that what we're doing inside of our four walls is dynamic and impactful? We also want to make sure that what we're doing inside the club spills outside of the club and has a real impact on the neighborhoods in which each one of our clubs sit in. And then finally, we want to connect all the amazing things we're doing in neighborhoods and clubs into key city and regional spaces. So making sure that our youth have direct access to some of the key development coming about in Detroit and beyond, and making that connection for our youth. So that's our moonshot as an organization. We want to bridge what we call those two Detroits. Next slide. So here's how we get there. This is our actual logic model. This is our ladder to economic mobility. Now, what you'll notice on the screen is the bottom two rungs on this ladder is really what makes any out of school time. We want to make sure, number one, we're accessible, that we are looking at locating and when we build a new club, we're looking at neighborhoods that need us the most so that we can serve individuals that need us the most. We want to be affordable. And you'll hear me talk about our summer camp a little bit, and we'll talk a lot about how we ensure that we're affordable and that we don't turn anyone away for inability to pay. And then we want to leverage a broader ecosystem. One of the beauties about this space of youth development is there's so many amazing organizations doing amazing things. How do we leverage one another and come together so that we're providing a dynamic and holistic experience for our youth and their families? Next is safety. Safety is a number one priority. So not just are our buildings in the physical space safe, we want to make sure that we leverage and use caring adults who are trained in youth development skills so they know how to respond to youth and create dynamic programs that meet developmental needs. But we also really hone in on social emotional skills, and that is embedded in all that we do. Now, what makes us a little bit unique is we have what we call our BEST program model. This isn't bragging, it's an acronym, and it really is about how we use behavioral health, edutainment, sports, and talent and innovation as our four programmatic pillars to ensure that we offer dynamic programs. And I'm going to dig into what's in those pillars in just a moment. But what we do within those pillars are all designed to move us into what we call self-efficacy. We want young people to believe that they can achieve. And based on those ages, we look at that leverage. So when you start as a young person, our 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, we want them to begin to imagine what they can do. So that is imaginal experiences we want. We want them to know and start to say, I think I can achieve this. I think I can have this type of career. Then when they start to get into upper elementary and middle school, we want them to live vicariously through their near peers. So by watching capstones and performances and teachbacks from some of our teenagers, they now believe that they can be a fashion designer or they could code an app because they saw presentations from 14, 15, and 16-year-olds in our industry clubs showing them how they've done it. And then ultimately, we want them to have experiential and mastery experiences, meaning I know I can do it because I've done it. And so when you hear me talk a little bit later about our industry club model, which is our signature workforce model, it is designed to ensure that youth learn skills from industry professionals. And they end with capstones where young people are showing back their human capital, the skills they learned, to show that I now have mastered this. I know how to do it. And for us, that has culminated in a variety of things. And we know by using this ladder, that's what gets us to that career, startup, and homeowner ready. Next slide. So that BEST program model, you'll see it on the slide, and I'll just pull out a few. So number one, we offer behavioral health throughout all of our club locations. We have licensed psychologists on staff. We have practicum PhD clinical psychology students, master level social workers, and BSW social workers within our program. And through this, we're able to offer one-on-one therapy, group therapy. We offer a program we call social emotional learning, which is teaching compassion and how you use compassion for yourself and others to create a really safe space when it comes to your mental and physical health. And edutainment, it's about looking at the spaces in which our programs happen and ensuring that when a young person walks in, they know exactly what they're supposed to do because the space is designed to meet those needs. We also tie in education and entertainment for this edutainment component. For sports, we have developed our own 3C Sports Coalition, and those 3Cs stand for community, culture, and competition. Everything we do is around creating a safe, positive space for young people to engage in sports. We offer competitive sports, recreational sports, and we expose youth to other careers associated with sports. So it's not just what you do on the court or the field. How do we also look at the journalism component, raising young people up so that they can be officials and referees, all those other aspects so you can stay in that sports space, even if you don't want to be on the field. And then finally, talent and innovation. This is what we call our workforce development program. And it's tied across as young as 6 all the way up to 24. And it's about exposing young people to as many things as possible to help them find their spark. Once they found that spark, we offer exploration programs where they can take what they think they love. Oh my gosh, I think I enjoy coding. And we offer programs specifically around them learning and building skills in coding. And then we offer paid experiences, which is that third E, meaning if you believe you love coding, you've been doing Hour of Code and helping to do some things. Now you're joining our technology industry club, where we pay young people as young as 14 to go through a 12-week or 6-week program, 120 hours, and they leave with skills directly related to that field. So if you love coding, you're coding an autonomous vehicle to drive, or you're coding an app that you can put up on the Apple App Store. These are the things that we tie in to ensure that self-efficacy becomes a reality for our youth. Next slide. So now let's get into summer camp. Why are summer programs essential? And the real key here is, number one, young people have continued to experience anxiety, depression, really dealing with loneliness, stress, hostility. And when summer and school ends and summer begins, they lose connection with those positive adults that they may have connected with during school, as far as teachers or coaches and extracurricular things. So it's essential that out of school time steps into that gap and provides this crucial staff adult positive connection where we're helping young people guide through, helping them as they navigate relationships with their peers, building skill development. We encourage healthy behavior because that gap between school ending and beginning can truly bring a young person down. And that is really why at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, we know it is crucial to offer services during that time. Next slide. So for us, we offer the best summer camp program. And within this, we have 4 locations. Our summer camp actually runs June 17th through August 16th. So it's a 9-week program. What makes our program very unique is that you can actually enroll your young person any or all weeks that you need. So if you only need us for 4 weeks, you select those 4 weeks and those are the weeks you pay for. If you like us for the entire summer program, you sign up for all 9 weeks and your young person can come all 9 weeks. Our summer camp is actually $5 a week. You heard me say that correctly, $5 a week. But guess what? If you enroll your young person before June 1st, we will offer a 50% off discount. Meaning, if you enroll for all 9 weeks, that summer camp is $22.50. We offer breakfast, lunch, and snack during this program, and we actually have themes for every single week. So at the end of every week, your youth are culminating with some form where they're showing you back the amazing things that were learned. I'd also like to highlight that for those teenagers who are interested, we currently have open applications and open interviews for those paid industry club positions if they would like to join and really hone in on that. And I'll dig into that just a little bit. And we also offer organized sports leagues. So during the summer, we'll be offering flag football, contact football, baseball, and cheerleading. And all of that is available for youth to enroll in and participate in. Next slide. So let's get into those summer camp themes. So the themes for this year's summer camp, we're going to take you from stamping the passport and having a staycation and learning about different cultures to celebrating Boys and Girls Clubs along with 1,100 organizations across the nation during Boys and Girls Club Week. Michigan Adventures is going to be focusing in on helping young people learn about all of the amazing things that make our wonderful state of Michigan very unique and awesome. Game On is going to be an opportunity to look at gaming and reflect in on yourself on what do you need to do to be your best you so that you can be competitive. Rip the Runway, you probably guessed it. We're going to be exposing young people to all things fashion, from design, photography, and at the end, we'll be culminating in our own internal fashion show. Battle of the Clubs is an opportunity for young people to actually be able to challenge other clubs. So go to some of our other club locations and have different battles across sports and robotics and some of these other dynamic programs. Innovation Invasion is everything STEM. So young people will be flying drones, learning how to code apps, and having a great time using technology in their day-to-day life. Lights, Camera, Action is going to be our content creation. So we're going to do everything from podcasting to creating our mini movie trailers to really exposing young people to what we call the creators economy. And Best of the Best is our last week of summer, where we are going to highlight how we actually take everything we've done for the previous 8 weeks and bring those dope programs to life and showcase some of the things that youth have created. Next slide. So our paid industry clubs, I don't want to forget to highlight this. Young people 14 and up can actually apply for this employment opportunity. We pay between $12 an hour and $15 an hour. We have 2 shifts, a 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and a 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You would do one or the other. Each end with a capstone that is actually judged by industry professionals. All of these industry clubs are actually facilitated by industry professionals. And our current offerings are going to be Design Industry Club, where we're teaching young people around interior design. Entertainment Industry Club, where young people are going to take their photography and content creator skills to the professional level. Technology Industry Club #1 is going to focus on drone aviation. Fashion Industry Club Foundation teaches young people the foundations of fashion. So they're going to create mood boards, learn how to sketch, and then ultimately design their own full look that they can show off at a gallery. Our Esports Industry Club is going to learn the business of esports and set up their own tournaments that they'll leverage throughout the club. And then our Sports Industry Club Athletic Training Program is going to teach our young people how to become athletic trainers and support the agility and conditioning training for our sports athletes. So again, who wouldn't want their young person to engage in the dynamic opportunities that I've presented? I appreciate the opportunity to, really share this, because these are great and most people don't know what's inside the walls of the Boys and Girls Clubs. One last thing that I'll highlight is that we have 4 locations currently, 2 inside of Detroit, 1 location in East Point, and 1 location in Highland Park. If you are interested in learning more about this, I will go to the next slide where you can scan a QR code, which will take you to either our summer camp registration page, which is through our online parent portal, or if you've got a young person and you want to send them the link to register and apply for Industry Club, go ahead and scan that QR code and they can apply for the Industry Club that interests them, and we'll present you opportunities for them to come in for their open interview. Thanks so much.
Wow. That's all wow. I was over here taking notes and just ran out of just sticky notes. I'm like, I'm just going to go to the website and check all this out, because that was just absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Where was this at when I was a kid?
Me
Like,
too.
my goodness. Right. And I remember when I was in summer camp as a kid, I signed up for a double Dutch, right?
Mhm.
That program changed my life. And so I can only imagine that was one single program. We did other things, but they took us to this, competition. And I just remember how exciting and how fun it was. And
Yes.
so I'm listening to all this stuff. Like, if I would have been participating in that, don't tell it what I would be doing right now.
Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. And thank you so much for sharing about the Boys and Girls clubs and all of the amazing things that you all are doing. I mean, this is just fantastic. And I'm glad they're putting all the information in the chat so folks can be sure to check it out. So we have a few questions from our audience, and I'm going to read those off. Let me see. I do have one that I'm going to start with. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So how does the big picture funnel down to local impact? And so it's kind of 2-part. I'll say that again. How does the big picture funnel down to local impact? And what does that mean for families and students here in Metro Detroit?
So for us, Our big picture is specifically about Metro Detroit. We're looking at providing economic mobility for the youth and families in our neighborhoods. So really what we do is, as you heard me describe, we literally map every initiative that we create back to those areas of capital. And that's our mapping exercise every time we start a program. How are we intentionally building human capital or cultural capital, social capital in our youth by them participating in this program? We also evaluate what we do. So we don't want to just say that we're doing these amazing things. We do focus groups with our youth and families, as well as an online evaluation, really to gain some insight and interest on, are we still doing and impacting young people and their families the way that we intend? And we use that back in a continuous quality improvement cycle. Meaning for us, we take the data, we talk about it as a broader team, and then we actually create a plan to change or tweak anything to ensure that we put ourselves on a path to answer any gaps that may exist.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Next question is from Facebook. $5? $5 a week? Really? Is there an income guideline?
So we get this all the time. Absolutely not. So it is $5 a week. There is no income guideline. We do ask in our online application when you're filling everything out, it asks you about your family income. We always ask people are honest. As you know, funders like United Way and others, we provide our demographics back. But no, we actually go and we do a lot of resource development efforts to ensure that we can keep our costs as reasonable as possible. So it doesn't cost us $5 a week to provide the services, of course, but for our families, we cover that so that young people do not feel like they can't participate because they can't afford it.
Wow, that is amazing. Everything I'm hearing, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just awesome. Okay, so the next one is, I love the focus on home ownership. What sparked that particular idea?
Awesome. So during our reimagination sessions, which started about 5 years ago, we had to actually examine economic mobility. What are the things, especially for young people of color and people of color, that have been kept away from us? Career mobility is one, so that's why we talk about career. Starting your own business and being able to have capital. We will train and provide technical assistance to small businesses that are, run by people of color. But that capital, that investment to help them start is really, really minimal. And then home ownership. We evaluated and look at where you can look at data redlining and, what a house is priced at in a particular community versus another. So we understand that home ownership serves as one of the biggest ways that you can get equity, that you can put into a business, that you can pass down for generational wealth. And so focusing on that is actually educating youth and their families on the importance of being able to look at that generational wealth and have an asset to pass down, which, just data shows that's essential.
This is incredible. I'm going to be signing my son up as soon as we get off. Another question is, and it looks like there's multiple questions about this, is there transportation available?
Awesome. So for the summer, we do not offer transportation. We do provide transportation when we're taking field trips and things like that, but we don't offer transportation for the summer. We're currently trying to solve for that by building a larger fleet. So in the future we can, but we do offer it in some spaces for after school, just not for summer.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I have another question. How do these programs address basic needs for safe spaces after school and greater needs like economic mobility? And I know you kind of mentioned about the economic mobility. You mentioned a lot of this, but definitely would love to see how the programs address basic needs.
Absolutely. So number one, that's why the first B in BEST is behavioral health. This is why we have expanded our behavioral health department to include social workers so that just at the face, all young people have access to work with our social work staff, our clinical psychologists. So number one, that is the biggest way we address it. We also ensure, this is why we feed young people during, any programs we run. So even in after school, we provide dinner, summer, we provide those meals, but we're really key on doing casework for young people who need it and bringing them into the fold along with their families, because parent consultations are huge in what we do as well, to make sure that we're hearing about that and using resources like 211 to say, where are those other avenues where we, again, ecosystem, right? We don't have to do it all. So we leverage our ecosystem so we understand who do we need to guide a family to for additional services should they need them.
Thank you. Shout out to 211.
Hey.
We have an amazing team taking those calls. So yes. So I have another question. Do you work with schools to encourage them to promote BGC? especially those that are at risk?
Yes, we do. We have an array of school partnerships. So huge. We actually even go into some schools and offer some of our programming inside the school during school days. So most of them are within a 1 mile radius of where a club sits. We're always interested in expanding that. So if anybody does want to suggest a school where they might not know about Boys and Girls Clubs, we'd be happy to provide flyers, to take our staff over, to have some discussions. But we just continue to grow that footprint because, again, they're the largest holder of the young people we're trying to serve. So we want to build key relationships so that they can funnel them to us.
Right. So we hear all of the great programs and things that you all are doing. I want to know what skills, well, me and another person asking a question, what skills or what perks of memberships do children and families enjoy most?
Ooh. Oh, I feel like you'd have to ask the young people and families, but I think it depends on who they are. So I think the biggest one for my industry club kids, my teens, of course, they love the paid employment, right? That they're like, oh, I'm getting paid. And it's a pay to learn strategy because a young person at that age has to make a decision. Am I going to get a job or am I going to be able to do extracurriculars at school and miss out on making money? What we solve is you don't have to answer that. We're providing you an extracurricular that you can use for college or for future mobility, along with paying you for it. And those kids by far would tell you their favorite part is the capstone and the social networking that they build. So,
Ooh,
I mean, each youth, we in our fashion program, we're to the point now where we've taken young people to New York Fashion Week twice to present their looks. We've got kids that are in my mobility industry club that are getting ready to go to Abu Dhabi Friday for an autonomous driving competition. We've got young people that are in our sports industry club. They have become referees, gotten their Michigan High School Athletic Association certification. Not only do they work for us, but they're working for others to be officials, and that's a lifetime. So it depends on who you're asking. For some of our younger members, they love the sampling, right? We expose them to culinary arts. These kids are having the chance to go and, dabble in coding and have their own gallery showings for the photography that they've made, record their own music in Big Sean Anderson studio and say, I now put a song together by myself and I'm 9. So
right.
truly it would depend, but I think there's perks for everybody built in there.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining us today and leading our communities and answering our questions about youth engagement and activities outside of the classroom. Before we close, I do have a few more updates for our audience. 211. As a reminder for anyone in our community who may be experiencing a need, our 211 helpline remains available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This includes resources like food, utility assistance, and much more. We always maintain a running list of available services in the community and can connect you to the support you need. You can also look up resources in your area by using our 211 resource database at United Way SEM /211. Volunteer opportunities. One of the best ways to give back during this time of the year is to get involved in the community as a volunteer. United Way's volunteer portal can help. Our online portal lets you search for volunteer opportunities that best match your abilities and interests. It even lets you set up alerts for the types of volunteer projects or organizations you care about most. Visit unitedwaysem.org /volunteer to get started. Washtenaw United, if you're a podcast fan, I'd encourage you to check out our Washtenaw United weekly radio segment on WEMU. This partnership features the leaders and organizations who are creating opportunities and promoting equity in Washtenaw County. Listen to the executive director of Washtenaw Camp Placement, Matt Tarver Walquist, discuss the valuable life experiences summer camp provides you. To listen, please visit WEMU.org /Washtenaw-United. Next town hall, in celebration of Global Volunteer Month, our next What's the Word Wednesday town hall will be next Wednesday on April the 24th. We will be joined by Detroit Hives, who will share more about urban gardening, beekeeping, and ways you can volunteer. Be sure to tune in for that town hall and more coming up. To stay updated on our upcoming topics and watch replays of previous town halls, please visit unitedwaysem.org/virtual town halls. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and continue to live united.